Hi everyone, this is Joe LaGiglia with the MortgageMessage Show, and on this episode, we're talking about what we're grateful for with my special guest, my wife, Kandice LaGiglia. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the MortgageMessage Show. My name is Joe LaGiglia, and I'm really excited about the new gratitude series we're launching in November. For my first guest, I have my amazing wife, Kandice LaGiglia, who I'm so thankful for and has been behind the scenes on so many of the projects that I've done. I want to start out by just introducing her to my audience and just to say thank you for being who you are and for being the most amazing mother and wife I could ever imagine. I wanted to start off the interview by just simply talking to our audience about how we got here and how moving to Plainfield was really our start. I know during that time we were not only building a home, we were also getting ready to have our first child. And if you can recall, just kind of that experience and what that meant to you at that time.
Yeah, I think obviously when we found out we were pregnant, we were like, okay, maybe we should consider getting out of this townhome. And we looked for houses. We didn't really see anything that we liked. You came across this subdivision, walking distance to Plainfield. It kind of had all the things that we wanted. And we were getting ready to have a baby, we were having a house built, we were making all sorts of decisions, we were living out of a box when she was born, we closed on our house when she was 10 days old, and you were starting a new job here, and yeah, it was a little bit of a chaotic time.
Yeah, it was interesting. I remember when we were going through that period of time, I really fell in love with the location, and certainly you built the home that we're in today that we love so much. And I just remember at that time thinking of the life that we were starting here in Plainfield and thinking about, where this journey was going to take us. And here we are 5 years later. Kind of, if you can, from that point till kind of the start of this year, we've had an interesting ride. We after having our daughter Evelyn, we added another kid to the mix, our son Will, and it's been a journey of trying to combine the work and the life balance. You with your parfession as a nurse, me building a mortgage practice here. Would love to hear just kind of a hot take on how this parenthood / working professional, how that's been for you and how the journey's been.
I think I'm grateful that I'm in a profession where you can kind of cut back or you can pick up more if you want, and so it was pretty easy to cut back hours after we had kids, and that left me available to be home. And your job's a little bit more demanding than mine, and you kind of have to stay in it, so to speak, in order to keep up with everything. And so it's been nice that we each have professions that kind of allowed us to shift when we had little kids to what was needed at home.
Yeah, I think it's amazing from my perspective, and one of the things that I'm just every single day so thankful for is not just your ability to juggle being a mom, being a wife, and going off into what is, especially today, just a really wild time to be a nurse, to be in the medical profession. And I'm always enamored and in awe of the strength and the courage that you have day in and day out to do so much. It really gives me strength and gives me a lot of inspiration to go out there and to try to be the best I can be in my profession. It's just something that I could never thank you enough for being who you are. This year, 2020, has been quite the year for a lot of people. And certainly for us, along with so many people who are out there, we're figuring out how to react to this pandemic. We're figuring out just recently, and so much of the heavy lifting on your side, I must admit to my audience, figuring out the e-learning side of life. This year I think has brought us closer together. I think that it's done a lot to, really bring us as a family unit when there's so much upside to having been indoors together for so long. But just would love kind of your summary of kind of the year 2020. It's not over yet, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely had its ups and downs. There were days when I felt like Supermom and I was doing all sorts of crafts, and you'd come home and we'd all be in good spirits. And then there were other days when I feel like I was throwing the kids at you when you walked in the door, or even if you were working in the office, trying to keep the kids away from you and let you work, and then me trying to still go to work and come home and make sure, I'm washing all my clothes and, getting showered right away because of COVID. And thankfully, I feel like we've kind of got a little system down now. Things feel a little lighter. But yeah, I think we had a lot of quality time, and we got to be creative together with our kids and come up with activities to keep us entertained and them. And it was most days fun.
We say surviving, right?
Yeah,
We're surviving. So, and I think that's awesome. And I think, again, just thankful for what we've experienced and what's to come, and continuing to stay safe, and just watching our kids kind of develop in this new world, so to speak, and try to keep it as normal, which you do such an amazing job of trying to keep it normal for them the whole way. So much of what I do, which I know that you've always just embraced and encouraged, and never discouraged me from it, but my love for video and video marketing. And here we are today, by the way, that I convinced you to do this. I wanted to just kind of ask you your impression of, what it's like to have seen kind of this idea from you being there from the start of saying, hey, I think I'm going to incorporate video into my business, and then fortunately or unfortunately, from Saturday mornings to everywhere in between, seeing me using video, and then you just being on video today. Or just what's your thoughts on that journey for me?
I think anybody who knows you knows that you're not camera shy, so it doesn't shock me at all that you've brought it to this point. Or, I think people like to hear from you. They think you have good insight on things. I know it's fun for you. So one thing that you've always said is, if you're doing something you love, and, then it's really not work. And so I'm grateful that you get to do something you love, and you found a way to marry your mortgage business with your passion for video. And it's cool, to see you do videos. I'll admit I don't always watch them. But,
that's all right. You and most of everybody.
I don't always have time, or, Saturday mornings I'm wrangling the kids while you're doing the show, so I can't do both. But I appreciate your talents.
Yeah, well, and really that's the point of the question is really just to say thanks, because behind the scenes is so much of why I want to put you in the spotlight right now, is because behind the scenes you are wrangling the kids, you're handling so much to make sure that I can pursue that passion. And I say it as much as I can, but I think it's something that I really wanted to showcase today, is my thanks for just being that person in my life that saw a gift and saw a passion, and instead of maybe going another direction with your attitude toward it, just absolutely embraced it. And so I'm so thankful, because it's brought me so much farther in my career than I ever thought I could go. As we look to the future, and coming up in the year of 2020, we celebrated 10 years in our relationship, 7 years of marriage, 5 years of being parents. Just so excited for this next decade. From your perspective, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to over these next 10 years, since these last 10 have been such a blessing?
Obviously excited to see our kids grow. Now that our older daughter, Evelyn, has entered the school age, it's kind of nice to see her shaping into her own self, so it'll be excited to see Will do the same. Seeing what our community is like, and our neighborhood, and how those relationships continue to grow, where your career goes, where my career goes, all sorts of things, just,
Yeah, it's exciting.
Looking forward to the next stage of parenthood. And
I'm super excited as well, and I think that it's cool to have a positive outlook, especially with the stuff that's going on in the world, and so much of that positivity comes from you, and I'm just so thankful for it. And I think there's so many people who are watching right now that are connected to us through social media that you've meant so much to, and really so much of this is wanting to give you that moment, because there's so many people who want to say thanks to you for being that person that drops everything they do in a second's notice to be there for people. It's one of the things that made me want to spend the rest of my life with you, is that you are one of the most selfless people I've ever met in my life, and I'm just so grateful to to be connected to you in this way, and it's exciting. It's exciting to do that. So I just want to say thank you, and I guess to close the interview, I could say thank you for the rest of the 10 minutes, hour, weeks, days, months. But what are some of the things that you're thankful for?
Well, obviously you.
That wasn't a setup, I swear. That wasn't a setup.
But I am. I mean, you work hard, you provide us with a beautiful life, and you allow me to stay home and spend these moments with our kids that we'll never get back. Obviously thankful for our friends, our neighbors, and our family, and we have such a strong support system, and we have so many connections with people, and we have great relationships around us, our church family, like I said, our neighbors, our family, just a lot of love, especially in 2020, when things were always not so great. There was always somebody dropping off a gift on the front doorstep for the kids or bringing donuts over, just all these little things, and it just shows how many people we have out there that love us.
Thank you. I know that this is a little bit out of your comfort zone, just a tad, and you knocked it out of the park. This is obviously going to be one of the best episodes I've ever done, and just thanks, and I'm super excited for this to be a little bit of a time capsule for our kids. It's one of the reasons why I was so excited about this, is that long time from now they can look back and at least have a little bit of a snapshot of what this moment was all about. So just from the bottom of my heart, thank you, and I love you.
I love it too.
And thank you to all of our audience for being here. We hope that this episode inspired you to reach out to someone, to say thanks, to let them know that you're grateful for them in your life. And there's many more episodes that are going to follow during this gratitude series that hopefully look to inspire you as well. We'll see you on the next episode, everybody.